I'm here with Jack Pollon of the Daily News. Can you talk about your time with Mount Clair Prep?
Um, yeah, absolutely. I attended Montclair Prep in the early '90s. Graduated in '94. Um, we had we had some good teams back then. Really good football program. My sophomore year, we had a great basketball team with Chris Johnson on the team as a 10th grader. Team went 24-1, but because of some issues with the school and the football program, the entire school wasn't allowed to go to the playoffs that year. So it was kind of sad and disappointing. Probably would have been a Southern Section champion, maybe even a state champion. So that was those were some fun years. My senior year in high school, we had a good little team. We were 15-6, and unfortunately, again, the school was in some hot water. Not really in hot water, but the school wasn't in a league, and there was no open spots for a playoff spot for a freelance team. There was too many qualifiers from the league. All the automatic league spots filled up the bracket, so we didn't go to the playoffs. And back then I kind of didn't understand how things worked and everything. Me and my friend were really upset, and we actually went down to the Southern Section office and complained to Dean Crowley, the commissioner, who has since passed on. And we also got Channel 4 involved with Fred Rogan, and we made the Channel 4 sports newscast for a couple of minutes. And that kind of launched my passion for high school sports, and being involved, coaching, and eventually it turned into running events and putting on tournaments, camps, clinics, showcases, and whatnot. And I got into the media side as well. I think because of that experience a little bit, started writing for the Daily News, covering high school football games, and just stuck with that, and that turned into more assignments, better assignments. And I've since moved on from the Daily News. Actually do not write for that publication right now, but I've written for Santa Clarita Signal, the Santa Clarita Signal, Ventura County Star, CaliforniaPreps.com, and a few other publications. But something that I'm really excited about right now is Silver Waves Media, a new media arm leg of Ryan Silver's West Coast Elite Basketball. So, doing a few things for them, and really hoping, things get back to normal here with sports, so we can have some live game coverage, and, a lot of stories coming up. So, things are good. Just waiting out this whole thing like everybody else.
Can you talk about the upcoming news of the summer transfers and all the high school gossip so far?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of movement, despite, things not really going on as far as spring league and summer league and stuff like that. There's been quite some movement. Sierra Canyon got Max Allen. He moved over from Heritage Christian after coming into Heritage from Las Vegas. So he's a 6'8" power forward, really good feet, soft hands, really good around the basket. So that'll be a top transfer for sure. Sierra Canyon also picked up a 6'4" wing from Pennsylvania, who's going to be a junior as well. His name is Chance Westry, and he's probably a top 25, top 30 guy in the country in his class. So Sierra Canyon's reloading again, and they actually have a really nice group of 11th and 10th graders. So they're a little more set up for a consistent 2 or 3 year run. The team is not quite as talented as the last 2 or 3 years with the high end talent level. Zaire Williams and BJ Boston were, top 5 in the country type guys with NBA lottery pick potential, but they're building a really nice younger that can. So watch the Trailblazers as always. And Sky Clark left Heritage Christian. He moved to Tennessee. He's going to Brentwood Academy. That's a big loss for Heritage Christian. There's a few other guys on the move. Crespi it looks like they're going to lose their point guard Mike Price. A lot of rumors about Price leaving, possibly going to Chaminade. I know, they'd like to go to Sierra Canyon. Rebay Academy is in the mix for Mike Price. I think that announcement will be coming up in the next week or two. So, there's been a little movement. There's been a few others. Ramel Lloyd left Taft. He's a really talented player. He's only going to be a junior coming up here in another month or so. And he's over at Rancho Christian now. So, another open division program, Rancho Christian, reloading after, the end of the Mobley brothers era is no more. Those guys have moved on. So, it's still moving and shaking out there.
What are your thoughts of the upcoming fall semester? College, pro, high school?
It's tough. I just don't think anybody has any answers right now. I think we're going to know more in a couple of weeks. The Southern section is going to release a kind of a new revised athletics calendar July 20th. And I think that'll be sort of like a guideline or a baseline for school districts and private schools to maybe make some decisions off that. Or they might just make their own decisions regardless of any calendar. But, the news was looking good, I thought 6 weeks ago. And then the news kind of turned with a lot of there's been sort of a resurgence in coronavirus in 3 or 4, huge states, including California. So it's just tough. I think we have to figure out a way to live with this virus. I think, at some point, so to speak, everybody's going to get it. And, I just think we have to learn how to live with the virus and keep doing our daily things going instead of just shutting everything down. If people wear masks and social distance, I think and everything gets cleaned and sanitized, I don't see really any reason why you couldn't hold an event, or a high school sporting event, football game, basketball game, what have you. I understand, we all have to be cautious and it's crazy time out there for people. But, if we're able to go to the grocery store, go to the bank, you can go to restaurants now, just like in the same way you go to a restaurant. If you want to dine in, you come in wearing a mask, you sit down, everything's cleaned. You take your mask off, you eat, you leave. They clean up behind you. And make sure everything, following proper protocols. Why couldn't we run a basketball tournament the same way or have a football game on a Friday night? People wear a mask, you get your temperature checked. They log everything on a sheet, your identity. You came in, just taking all these guidelines that they're giving us and putting them into action and trying to live our normal lives. I would think that would be a good way to go instead of doing nothing at all. So, like I said, I think there's a way to live with this virus out. And following the protocols. So we'll see. It's a lot different for school districts, public school districts, and private schools. I think everybody's worried about litigation, having a lawsuit filed against them. So I think everything is super cautious, and that's why we're at where we are right now, where just nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But I really think in a few weeks there's going to be some hard decisions that are going to have to be made by schools about exactly what they're going to do. Everybody's trying to hang on, trying to give it time, which is good. We don't want, you don't want somebody just to cancel sports for the entire school year next year, without waiting and seeing what's going to happen. And then, I think you need to wait this thing out and make decisions as late as possible. Excuse me. So, we'll see. We'll see here. We got a couple weeks.
What have you been watching, like the Korean Baseball League? Any sports on TV?
A little bit. Tried to watch the KBO, Korean Baseball Organization. It was fun watching a few live pitches and stuff, but when you don't know who those players are, and truth be told, it's not nearly as fun, and the guys aren't nearly as talented as the guys in Major League Baseball.
Except Roberto Ramos, San Fernando grad.
Yeah, there's a few guys in there from the States, and a couple local guys, but I think I flipped the channel pretty quick, tried to find a movie or something.
ESPN with Air Bud or the Rookie, right?
Yeah, just it's kind of tough to watch an entire game, guys that you don't know, and there's no fans in the stands, and
Didn't you make an ESPN appearance recently? With that, didn't they show an old game that you were featured on, coaching?
Oh yeah. Good one, Eric. Good job, man. Good memory. The 2007 McDonald's All-American game was replayed on ESPN, and I was an assistant coach for the West with the head coach was Taft coach Derek Taylor. I was helping him out for a couple years there over at Taft, and that was fun to watch that game again on TV. I haven't seen any, haven't seen that game or any clips or anything in a long time. That brought up some great memories. That was a great week in Louisville, Kentucky, and what a team that was. You saw some of the guys on the squad there: Blake Griffin, Eric Gordon, Michael Beasley. There were some big time guys in that game. It was that was really fun. That was a fun week.
And what about this past year in high school basketball with Sierra Canyon and the rest of those teams? All the great talent we saw this past year at Pasadena City College.
Oh yeah. The last 3 years at Sierra Canyon has been, to understate it, ridiculous. Cassius Stanley, Scottie Pippen, KJ Martin, Zaire Williams, BJ Boston. The list goes on, and the high level games across the country, pretty amazing. 2 years ago, I was really fortunate to go to San Diego, to go to Hawaii, to go to Oregon with that Stanley Martin Pippen group. Taryn Frank. He's going to Texas Christian. He kind of sometimes gets overlooked with all the other guys, but he's a great player and a great kid. Yeah, I mean, it was really fun traveling all over the place. And last year's team with Bronny, was just nuts because the media attention was even more heightened. Because Bronny's dad is arguably the best player in the world. So it's been a crazy couple of great years, over at Sierra Canyon.
So, what are your predictions for LA sports teams this fall? Lakers winning the championship? Dodgers?
The Lakers kick off here in a couple weeks in Orlando, the NBA bubble. They're going to restart the season. It's hard to tell. It's who got better during quarantine, who didn't get better, who stayed in shape, who didn't stay in shape. Those are going to be some interesting, questions and interesting things to see as they start at the end of the month, end of July.
Maybe we'll put some Sierra Canyon players with the Lakers.
Not quite yet. Maybe in a couple of years. But the Lakers, the Lakers got a really good shot. They got a really good shot. Who knows if all the ducks will fall, get in a row and all the cards will fall into place with all the craziness going on. But the only thing with the Lakers I'm worried about is maybe the depth of the team. Maybe some other teams might be more well equipped for this quick bubble thing, with having maybe a little bit better of a bench. The Celtics and the Bucks kind of come to mind quickly. Obviously, the Clippers, have a real nice bench group. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. At least we got some real basketball coming on TV. And I saw some games start at 10 in the morning, 11:30, 1:30. So it's going to be a end of summer quite like no other.
It's going to be the March Madness of summer.
Yeah, great. That's a great call right there. I haven't heard that. That's a good one, Eric. Really good one right there. Summer madness, games all day for a few weeks, and then they get into the playoff run. So looking forward to it. It's been a lot of time off.
Can you talk about your friend Vicky Oganian and what she's doing in the college rankings right now? Pretty dominant.
Yeah, absolutely. Vicky's one of the most amazing human beings on the planet right now, in my mind. She is a teacher and the head girls basketball coach at Burroughs High School. And then on top of it, she runs all kinds of tournaments and leagues and everything. And on top of that, she decided to go back to the junior college ranks where she had eligibility still and join the women's team at Glendale College while doing everything else. And, Vicky's in her late 30s, maybe early 40s now. Pretty amazing, pretty remarkable to juggle all of those hats at one time. And on top of it, Vicky's a great person, always helpful, always trying to do stuff. Has a great demeanor about her, great atmosphere about her. And she is definitely all about hoops.
So recently, 3 of her players and 3 from her alma mater, Glendale High, committed. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. It seems like, she always, stays in touch with her group and her players and helps them move on. And, there's really like a sisterhood of, Vicky and all the players she coaches and all the players she's played with and everything. It's really nice to see. Everybody bonded by basketball.
They were really one win away from Sacramento, so they're so close to going to Sacramento.
Yeah, that was a remarkable run there for Glendale.
What was your favorite high school sporting event you've covered, either with Daily News or just in general, besides recently?
Oh man, that they're putting me on the spot here now, EO. Oh man, it's hard to. I can't even think of one just favorite moment. There's been so many moments. That's a tough one. In '95, the Montclair Prep basketball team beat Brentwood in the semifinals. That was really unexpected. Nobody knew like about kind of really how the playoffs worked and the state playoffs and all that stuff, and what winning one game meant as far as moving on. So I remember that was a great moment. We beat Brentwood in the semis, and then we found out later that night, just by winning that game and advancing to the championship, we were in the state tournament also. And just a lot of people didn't know how things worked, how it all worked, like 25, 30 years ago, or being a young coach. So that was a great moment. Another great moment, was in it was 95 or 96 when one of our players hit a almost a buzzer beating shot to beat Horizon Christian of San Diego in the last game in Southern California to advance to the state championship. That was a great moment. So many others, a few in the 2000s, and the last couple of years at Sierra Canyon, beating Bishop Montgomery in the Southern Section Open Division Championship was a great moment, because the year prior, the team had lost to Mater Dei at Long Beach State in the Southern Section Open Division Championship. But, coming back a year later and winning that game, that was great. Obviously, winning the two state championships was great. At Sierra Canyon, they should have won a third one this year, but it got canceled. The Zaire Williams shot to beat Etowanda at Cal State Northridge at the buzzer, that was a great moment in high school sports. That was a 13-0 run to end the game. So pretty remarkable stuff. And there's been so many others before. I'd have to really think, but
we have to go to New York for the draft next year with all the locals, man.
What's that?
It's gonna be that Sierra Canyon draft next year for the NBA draft.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in October, the NBA draft's coming up, and you got Cassius Stanley, Remy Martin, KJ Martin, all eligible for the draft. I think,
LaMelo.
there might be there might be a chance Remy Martin goes back to Arizona State. We'll see. But and then the following year in 2021, there's a real possibility Zaire Williams and BJ Boston are in the NBA draft, and
Mobleys,
top 13 picks. And correct, the Mobleys. Yeah, a lot of high school kids are coming up. A lot of the guys we've seen across Southern California, especially in that open division, all those teams in the open division, they all have guys that could be in the NBA draft in the next year or two. So it's going to be exciting.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Eric.
Have a great rest of the day.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for doing what you do. You're a great guy. You always, are at the events and covering stuff and helping out, and truly just one of the really good guys for high school sports. And trust me when I say this, there's a lot of people out there that just appreciate you and what you do, your enthusiasm and your dedication to high school sports, buddy. We really appreciate you, man.
Thank you.